Hi guys, another awesome episode of the Horror Appraisal. I'm Sam.
And I'm Evan.
Today we're going to talk about an amazing slasher as well as one of the most awesome scream queens of all time.
That's right. We're talking about an actress who is in a great movie that one of the greatest slashers ever made, Sleepaway Camp, of course. And she's known for that role very well, but of course she's been doing a lot of things here in recent years. She's made some great films. And of course, who are we talking about?
Holy
Sam?
crap!
Yeah. There she is.
Felissa Rose!
Hi.
Yeah, we got her live.
Oh, aw, you make me blush. You're so sweet. Sam, you know I love you. Evan, I thank you. You guys are amazing.
No problem.
We'll go ahead and get with the questions. Is that cool?
Of course.
Okay. First, the Scream Factory release with the Blu-ray. How did that go? Did they contact you? Who got the ball rolling on that?
That was like a really interesting situation because, I know, Robert Hiltzik, the original writer-director, he called me. We could have some kid interruptions. So.
It's fine.
He called me and he said that he was, approached to do the Blu-ray. And I think at that point he wasn't quite sure who he was working with. Is there Synapse? I think is one, and Scream Factory. Mm-hmm. And so, funny enough, my husband said, I buy all of the, can you shut the door, guys? I buy all the Scream Factory Blu-rays. You have to go with them.
Yeah, you do.
And Rob was like, that sounds like that's the deal. And then the next thing I knew, I got a call from Justin Beam saying, okay, here's the deal. We're going to do the interview. And I said, you should interview my mom. She's never been heard from before. And I have a scrapbook. And it got crazy. And from there, we went and, completely tore my memory apart to go down that road.
Yeah, it was completely awesome to see your mom talk on that.
Yeah, it was a great blue.
She's great. She's amazing. I love her. She's my best friend, and she's crazy.
Yeah, it was a great release. Of course, fans of the movie are really enjoying this Blu-ray, and especially like the interviews that you've put on it. Like you said, as a child, when you were a child and you made this film, what did you imagine happened to Angela immediately after the ending of Sleepaway Camp?
That's an excellent question. I love that question. I honestly felt that, she was a minor. She was 13 years old. And I'm not saying you should run around camp and kill people if you're bullied. But it's a unique, she's a unique character in that, people really tortured her.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it's so relevant to what happens today, in society with children in school. Clearly she took it, to a crazy level and a revenge situation. I imagine that she got the therapy she needed and she went on to sort of manage her life and live, normally in some capacity, again with Ricky and Aunt Martha.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So those are my thoughts, but it's nothing, I have not spoken with Robert about it. I don't know what he imagines. Return to Sleepaway Camp clearly was many, many years later.
Right.
And in our working on Return to Sleepaway Camp, believe it or not, he said I was playing the original Angela who didn't die in the boating accident.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know what happened to the other twin.
Yeah.
And that the real Angela was coming back for revenge for what happened to Peter.
Cool.
Very cool. That's a great answer. We were really happy with that. That's Reservoir is kind of a mysterious thing right now. There's some things out there, but there's not really a whole lot that's available. There's a lot of other exciting looking films that are coming out. I was wondering if you might be able to share a little bit about maybe what people should know about these things coming out.
I'm working very closely with an amazing writer, director, producer named B. Harrison Smith. We collaborated, obviously, on Camp Dread, that I'm very proud of, with Eric Roberts and Danielle Harris.
Right.
That movie just, was a phenomenal experience. Being back at camp, it was very surreal. I loved the cast. I love working with Harrison. He's one of my very dear friends. And then he invited me back a year later to work on Elephant's Graveyard Zombie Killers, which looks like the release will be this fall. They just distribution, and it's with Billy Zane and Dee Wallace, Misha Barton, Gabrielle Stone. Like,
can't wait to see that. Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah.
It was just an incredible, group of people. Yeah. And now Harrison and I have a bunch of things going on. I wish I have like this crazy ass meeting. I haven't even told my husband that's happening next week. I'm sort of being screen tested for a new series.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
Good luck with that.
I'm really thrilled, and I hope that I could meet. I know my facial expressions are like out there because it's the greatest audition I've ever been given.
Good.
It's for an iconic series, and just a role that I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So I'll come back to tell you guys. I just worked on a pilot Friday for a new show called The Screaming Room, which is a round table of horror people. Doug Jones, John Skipp, Claire Kramer, Anthony Ferrante. I just looked at the table like, what am I doing here? This is insane. And it's sort of like just anything you could think of in horror. Every question was thrown at us. And it was serious, and it was combative, and it was just a debate chock full of like crazy.
Awesome.
We all got into it. We fought. We loved. We had an exceptional time.
Cool. Saw the picture you posted. That's pretty cool. I was wondering about that. Yeah.
It was so awesome. Yeah. And I produced a movie called No Solicitors that's coming out in the fall as well. We're just at the end of post with Eric Roberts and Beverly Randolph and Kim Poirier.
Nice.
So, yeah.
You know, we definitely want to mention your website for a second.
Thank you.
We saw M for Matchmaker on FelissaRose.com. And that is just a great site. Tell us a little bit about your website and what we can kind of expect from it. And
that website is all because of an amazing person named Andrew who contacted me from the UK. Yeah. You guys know him.
Yeah.
He's like an angel that just sort of dropped into my world. and it's funny how that happens, and you are too. I mean, you know that, Sam. Like, you just meet people who you connect with and like deeply adore. And he created this site that I think is really outrageous because he contacted filmmakers who, I did a movie with and said, oh, can I get all the info on that? And put together this beautiful site, FelissaRose.com. M is for Matchmaker is with my BFF horror sister, Tiffany Shepis. If she told me, I need to walk to Mars to do that short, I would have. I flew to Phoenix to work on it. Her husband's the writer and director, Sean Tretta, who is a genius and definitely someone to look out for. He's a writer on a new TV show and has a lot coming up. But it's just, it's amazing to me the people that you do meet and these wonderful things happen. I just met David Dakota for the first time. Nice. At the Dark Delicacies signing, and he's my new best friend, like love, and Lottie Knowles. We're all going out. Tracy Thomas. We're going out for margaritas next week. Like, you meet people, and you just fall in love, and it amazes me.
Yeah.
I have to pinch myself.
Well, some of the films that you've done have put you through the ringer, like Satan's Playground. You've done a lot of running in that. You get hacked in the back. You're limping around everywhere. You got The Perfect House. You're crawling around everywhere. Have you ever been scared on set?
Have I ever? That's a great question, Sam. Yeah, I've been scared. I was scared in Satan's Playground, not because of Ed Neal. He's one of my close friends.
Right.
But the way the scene, sometimes you're scared just emotionally. Like you really delve into these roles and these circumstances, and that's why I love horror, because they exceed anything you could ever experience in your real world.
Exactly.
And they truly create like the fears that you have in your life in that immediate moment. And we were in like this, cellar, the two of us with like, machete to my throat, and it's close, and he's so incredibly talented that when he's at me, you can't help but feel that like, moment of holy shit, what am I doing?
Right. You might
so yeah, that and Perfect House was terrifying, because the actors are so freaking amazingly good.
Right.
I mean, Dustin just creeped the shit out of me, and my kids in that movie are killing each other. So you're terrified.
Yeah,
I'm a real mom, and it's like, what's going on? So yeah, I think I always feel afraid, not truly like I'm gonna die, but emotionally crippled.
Yeah. You were mentioning your children and everything. Have your children seen a lot of your movies, even Sleepaway Camp?
No.
I didn't think so. Okay.
They've seen, you know what? They love Halloween. They love all the Goosebumps, R.L. Stein's Goosebumps.
Sure.
They love Tim Burton's movies.
Mm-hmm.
They love Goonies. But they've seen parts of Sleepaway Camp, but I'm afraid that they'll say, why does mom have a penis?
Yeah.
I think it's the ending that really,
Sure.
and I actually told my big girl, she's not in, because of the Blu-ray, there's been so much talk about it. She's like, Mommy, please tell me what happens at the end of Sleepaway Camp. So I did discuss with her how she's really a boy, Peter. So when she sees my penis, she'll realize, oh, well, it's just movie making.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see where we at. What real life things scare you? Are you scared of anything paranormal or anything like that? Anything like that spook you?
No, I used to go see a medium. I've had a lot of close people in my real life pass away too soon, and I feel very connected to, the afterworld, the afterlife. I believe in our souls living on and angels staying with us.
Nice.
I'm not really afraid, and that's an excellent question too, because I've never discussed how the one thing Angela gave me when I was 13 was a certain inner strength. I've always embodied and took with me the character of like, I'll fucking kill you. Like, I possess that sort of
mafia.
I'm
That's
crazy
like
anyway. What's that?
That's like a mafia type thing.
I think it is. I was gonna say I'm like this crazy Sicilian girl, and I think that I'm just not. I don't have fear. Like the water,
Sure.
I really don't like. I'm afraid of the big bad blue sea. Like I'll go in the water, but
It's pretty vast.
Yeah, I think swimming too deep or current or tidal wave or anything like that terrifies me. That's it.
You're someone who is very highly interactive with their fans. What is it about fans' reactions with you that you enjoy the most?
I think in speaking with people at conventions, when they tell me that like maybe the character helped them because they've been truly bullied, or it gave them something in life that helped them because they were coming out or they're transgender, individual.
Kind of empowerment.
I think that's what really makes me the happiest, when it touches someone in a way that's way beyond like a cheesy 80s slasher film, and it's like a connection with a person. That's what makes me happy.
Very cool.
That's great.
Outside of Sleepaway Camp, what's been your favorite role?
I've said Donna in Satan's Playground has been, I just loved working with Dante Tomaselli and Ellen Sandweiss and Ed Neal. That was really amazing. But I have to say now, I loved playing Rachel Steele in Camp Dread, and the character I play in Zombie Killers, Leah, is such a departure because she's this religious fanatic, like, preaching, nothing like me in life. So that's always fun to play somebody so far away from your person.
Nice.
So those three are really,
You gained so much fame from playing a really introverted character, of course, and now do you really revel in playing more extroverted characters? Just people who aren't so inwardly thinking so much, just very outspoken characters.
I think I like an array of characters, so it's always fun to play different, parts of the human condition, the human spirit. I would love to go back and play another introverted,
Cool.
shy person, because that's not who I really am.
Right.
But yeah, definitely outspoken and,
Comes
I don't
naturally.
shut the fuck up, obviously.
So we finally did get to watch Perfect House. We were slow on watching it, and it was kind of we wish that we had watched it sooner. Did you have to channel anything, or was it just really natural for you to react the way you did in that movie?
I mean, I was clearly channeling
Sure.
motherhood.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pretty brutal.
All I had to do was sit on set for 5 minutes by myself and think about my children. And my son at the time was 7 months old, and he was with me on the set.
Whoa.
So all I had to do was look over in the carriage, and it didn't take a lot to go into that really hard, scary place.
Yeah.
That was a really, that was a fun role. That was a great character. And Jonathan Tiersten in that movie.
He was
Right?
great.
He's
was
fucked up.
great. Yeah.
He's like the other part of me. He's, where I begin and he ends, and he begins and I end. We're like Siamese twins at this point. I was really proud of him. I thought that he just totally blew it out of the water. He was amazing in that film.
Right.
Right. Especially the part that really got me was the chick with all the punctures and the cuts, and she gets dumped in the bathtub of Epsom salts. That's like,
I know. She's so good.
yeah,
I love her.
that was a scream right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's not too personal, your mom talked about the boiling and stuff, like the bullying and stuff when you were a kid. Could you maybe talk a little bit about that? Is that okay?
Well, of course, yeah. You know me. I'm an open book. I tell you everything. I was actually in Catholic school at the time.
Right.
And when I was in public school, I had a group of friends, and then it was sort of like my parents just thought, well, they kind of just wanted me in a smaller school, so we went to the local school. It happened to be a Catholic school, and there was a girl who also wanted to be an actress. And I was a lot less vocal, let's say, when I was in my elementary, junior high years. I was more quiet. I was bubbly and happy, but I was closer to Angela than I am now. I really, I found myself later on. Can you hear all the crazy ruckus in my head?
But it's funny. It's funny.
It's hilarious. They're like, you're like, the music isn't blasting. And she gave me a really hard time. She bullied me. She would tell other girls to gang up on me and put gum in my hair and, just not talk to me or say mean things to me. I think that's when I suddenly realized I'm not going to take this shit from people, and I became, my own person, and I teach my girls, you should never be mean to people. You should always have a kind heart.
Right.
But if somebody says something or does something rude, stick up for yourself.
Exactly.
And tell them, you do not do that. That is awful.
Right.
Because they may need that growth.
Yeah.
So they pulled me out of the school, and I went to a different school, and it was great. I found, wonderful group of friends, and
Very cool.
yeah.
Well, thank you very much. What's kind of switching gears? We've got a couple more questions for you, but
Yeah.
just as kind of a fun question, what's your favorite kill in a movie ever?
Wow, my
I know.
favorite kill
That's
in a movie.
that's really putting you on the spot. I know.
In any movie that
Yeah.
I've ever seen?
Yeah.
Sure.
And how would you be killed if you
Yeah.
could be killed some way?
I really like the bow and arrow at Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah.
You know,
cool
Al. I just think that's fun. God, that's a hard question. I love so many. You know, there's just so many. My mind is racing right now with all the.
It's a tough question to answer. It's okay.
No, I love so many kills. You know, I'm going through Halloween and Friday the 13th and Black Christmas and I love a bag over the head. Black Christmas.
Oh my gosh,
that would take like a long time to die, I've heard, right?
Well, I think that's why it's so incredibly powerful because it's insanely excruciating to go through suffering like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I don't want to be killed like that. Just shoot me in the back of the head. Mafia style.
With an ice pick or something in the back of the head, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
Is there anything else you want to add? Like, have we left anything out? Is there anything that the world should know about you or what you've got coming up? Anything else?
I love you guys. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me. Thank you for being so supportive and just saying such kind things. Like, I feel like I could never get across how thankful I am. And I don't say it in like, oh, thank you, like that cliche. I really do mean it when I say, like, I'm very grateful. This genre is my whole life, my whole world. I love everyone who's involved in it, whether you just love horror movies or you're a filmmaker, writer, you write books. It's the most passionate, loving group of people I've ever met. Despite what a lot of mainstream people might think about it, horror people are the most incredibly beautiful and sensitive individuals.
Exactly.
And approachable.
Yeah.
Just really
approachable. And just, you know, I feel really blessed to be amongst, you know, some of the coolest, greatest, like yourselves, people around.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much for like talking to us. Is there anything you want to add, man?
One last question: When are we gonna see a movie written and directed by Felissa Rose?
I'm terrible. You know what?
Do it.
I wish I could write. What's that?
Just do it.
Yeah. Everyone, we want to see it.
I mean, maybe I should write something about like a young girl, you know, in that way. I love Orphan.
Oh yeah.
I love Orphan. You know, I'm afraid to direct and write, and I guess that's another fear. And not because I'm afraid people would hate it. I don't have that. I'm just afraid that I wouldn't know how to do it, if that makes sense. Like, that's a big writing and directing. I bow down to all the writers and directors out there in any media, you know, in any genre.
Right.
Because it's a huge task. It's really hard. I love producing, and I think that's just because I have 3 kids and a family, and I'm always like trying to put the pieces together. So that I get. But writing and directing is those are, you know, incredible creative processes that I hope maybe one day.
Cool. Well,
we'll see.
We'll let you get to your kids. We know that they want you.
The crazies that are running. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I love you guys.
We love you.
Thank you.
Love you.
I love you.
Thank you.
Bye, Felissa.
Have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.